Thank you. Okay, a lot of familiar faces. Most of you know me. I'm Inspector Kevin Williams, Commanding Officer of the 2nd Precinct. Thank you for coming to the community meeting for September. We'll go over a couple of things, the crime stats and everything, but just a few announcements. Thank you for the town officials that are here. I don't know if there's some elected officials that are here, and thank you for attending if there are any of the reps. I appreciate that.
Liz is here from Assemblyman Stern's office.
Assemblyman Stern's office, thank you so much for attending. Yes, thank you. Yes, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that, thank you. All right, before we get started with everything, I usually bring up some of our officers to introduce themselves so everybody can kind of get familiar with them. So if you guys could just come up and introduce yourself, that'd be great. This is in Fort Salonga. Complainant called police after he observed what appeared to be a bullet hole in the side window of his residence. The complainant located what appeared to be a small caliber round on a desk inside. Detectives are investigating this one, and we're going to see if we can get to the bottom of this one. Nobody was hurt, just found a bullet hole, so I'm not sure. We did a few SLA investigations. Lieutenant McKeon and his guys went down to a couple of bars here on the 16th, along with New York State Liquor Authority, the Huntington Fire Marshal, Code Enforcement. They conducted SLA on El Trifuno Tavern, 1789 New York Avenue and Huntington Station. The establishment was in compliance with all the SLA regulations, the State Liquor Authority, but the town of Huntington fire marshals issued 2 fire and code violations to the owner for that bar. And then later on that night, they did one at Safario Bar, 1830 New York Avenue, Huntington Station. It was found to be in compliance with all the SLA regulations. And the town of Huntington Fire Marshal and town code enforcement found no violations. So good, they're operating like they're supposed to be underneath all the codes. You might have saw this in Newsday. This came up. This was an investigation. The soccer coach apparently contacted an underage girl that was on his soccer team, texting back and forth, inappropriate stuff, trying to get her to send him pictures, whatnot. So he was arrested and charged with attempted use of a child in a sexual performance, which is a D felony, criminal solicitation third, a Class E felony, and endangering the welfare of a child, a Class A miss. There was a press release on this. Another good job by the detectives and our crime control officers putting this all together. I just wanted to mention this arrest because I know traffic's a big part of what we do and everybody always has traffic complaints. Our CSU officers are out there on a daily basis trying to find, these ATVs, these bikes, and in this case, they came across a vehicle with a forged license plate. Okay, they're behind it, they noticed the number looked changed, and I think they changed it from a 3 to an 8. They stopped the car and in plain view observed several Amazon packages and an Amazon vest. Okay, so these guys were going around stealing, porch pirates, the packages from people's porches. And I spoke about this a couple of community meetings ago where there's a big ring doing these cell phone, if you order cell phones off the internet, you get it delivered to your house. These guys are already waiting there, so somehow they're getting the tracking numbers. But this led to a pretty good investigation just by these 2 officers who do a lot of traffic stops, and they wound up giving all this information to the detectives, and they're digging into this a little deeper to see if this is a good chance maybe we get some good information on how they're actually getting these tracking numbers and trying to stop this ring, because it's very prevalent and it goes on. So I would recommend, if you're going to order cell phones, don't have them delivered to your doorstep. I don't know if there's a way to do the Amazon locker thing or go to the store and buy them. I know it's easy to just order stuff online, but somehow they're finding out where these packages are getting delivered.
Is it one carrier in particular or any?
No, I think it's different ones, but they're good with the Amazon, and a lot of them are using this surveillance thing where they put on the vest so nobody's suspicious. They say, oh, this is the Amazon guy. It's not really the Amazon guy. It's guy that just has the vest. I don't know how they get the vest, probably stolen, or maybe can make one, I don't know. But anyway, this was a great job by Officer Perro and Officer Medica. Unfortunately, they're not here. I wanted to give them some credit on that, but they did a really good job. Site team is the highway enforcement officers that come into the precinct on a monthly basis. This was for August. They hit these roads, issued a total of 100 summonses, 92 for moving violations. So I talk about it all the time, speeding, disregarding, all this stuff. These guys come in, they hammer it out. I mean, people won't slow down, but we're giving summonses, so we're trying. And these guys are great. They're a great help to us in the precinct. They come once a month, and a lot of times I'll give them the roads that everybody complains about at the meeting. So I said, can you go over here? Can you go over here? Along with our own officers who go to those locations too. But nice job by them. No fatal accidents for the month of August. That's really good. We're happy about that. Hate to see fatal accidents. So maybe the traffic enforcement is working a little bit. Arrests for August, 48 felonies, 138 misdemeanors, 9 assaults, a gang-related arrest. 7 gang members were arrested for different charges. 1 MS-13, 1 blood, 1 crip, 1 blood 59 brim, 1 Los Kids, and 1 OSS. So that's it.
2 OSS.
2 OSS, thank you. Drug-related arrests, 5, DWIs 12, just for the month of August. 196 total. Domestic incidents we responded to in the precinct. In August, 231 calls of domestic incidents, 76 were criminal, 22 resulted in arrests, There might be more arrests, but some of them are still under investigation. A lot of times the offender's not at the scene. Sometimes they're there, we get them. And then moving on to overdoses for the month of August. 4 non-fatal overdoses, no fatals, good. 2 in Huntington Station, 1 in East Northport, and 1 in Huntington. I don't see Scott, he's usually here, but he likes those numbers. Shot spotter, so we didn't have any, but we did have the one, and they corrected themselves, saying, so I don't know why it didn't work that night, so we'll see. Guess it's not perfect, but that's pretty good. Got a couple of events coming up. We had Coffee with a Cop just a week ago. It was good. A lot of people showed up. It was nice. Some people walking through the mall like, what are you all doing here? And I'm like, we're having coffee with a cop. Please, stop and talk. So there were some really nice people that stopped by. And one guy was, a retired school teacher, Kev? And he couldn't say enough nice things about the police. He was just, him and his wife just sat there and talked to them, and they were praising us. And it was nice. I think he had a couple of kids that were in the FBI or something, but he was a really nice gentleman. And so if you're around and you want to stop in, this one's at the library though, okay? Nice. Huntington Library. September 17th, 12 to 1.
Nice.
And if I'm here that day, I'll be there. Come on down and have coffee with us. I have another car seat. Check your car seat, safety checks on the car seats at the Wall Women Shops. This is Saturday, September 21st, 8 to 12. If you have someone that has a small child, bring them down. They'll show you, the COPE ladies will show you how to put the car seat in the proper way, because a lot of the younger kids are supposed to face the opposite way now, not forward. So they'll show you how. They'll look at your seat to make sure that it's not, out of compliance. Okay, so they'll take a look at it. So come on down. Again, simple stuff, but it helps us. Especially with the larcenies. If you can do all this, that's great. Don't leave your stuff out. Don't lock all your doors. Even if you're home, lock your doors. Sometimes people wander in. Gift cards is a scam. If someone's on the phone with you and says, I just use this as an example, your LIPA bill or whatever it is now is overdue, and they want you to pay it in gift cards, it's not legitimate. Please don't buy gift cards and give the numbers to people over the phone. It's not the real company calling you. It's scammers. There's so many scams. I keep putting this up, and every month there's something new. I heard of one, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, where Publishers Clearinghouse, you won $10 million. All right? I don't know if anyone even does that anymore, but so Publishers Clearinghouse, that was a big thing years ago. They'd show up with balloons at your house and you win $1 million. So they're calling people, say, you won the jackpot. You won $10 million. And people are very excited, but they say, you have to pay the taxes up front. So just send us a check for like $300,000 and then we'll send you the check for $10 million. But some people, they get so ensconced in the excitement of it, and they send money. And I saw one where the woman sent a substantial amount of money. This was in Nassau County, but I get bulletins from all over, and every month is something new. So be leery of, people contacting you out of the blue, that you didn't reach out to and say, hey, you won, or we're going to give you something for free, because, a lot of stuff is not for free. Okay, so go ahead.
The gym larcenies, are those from locked lockers or lockers that?
I would say yes, because I don't think most people go in, but they probably have, their own lock, or maybe it could be either one.
A lot of times when I'm there, I see a lot of people just putting their stuff in the locker without a lock.
Yeah, it's not a great idea. I mean, I hate to say it, but can't really trust a lot of people today. And then there are some guys that, they go, I guess they have memberships, and they go around and bring big screwdrivers. They pry them open. So you got to be careful. Try to bring the limited amount of valuables with you when you go to work out at some of these gyms. Okay, next meeting's at the library, South Huntington Library, October 1st at 7 p.m. And some of our contact numbers. And I'll take questions or concerns. Go ahead, you got your hand up first. I'll come to you a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. I know you know who I am.
Yes.
I'm Karen from Legislator Tom Donnelly's office.
Yes.
Tom couldn't be here tonight. He got back-to-back meetings, but he really wanted me to come down to thank you and the town for coordination on shutting down the party at 654 Old Country Road
Ah,
on
okay.
Friday night. Amazing coordination, amazing response. Neighborhood's thrilled. You guys really did it all. We're working together and did it right. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. for all
Okay,
that.
was that you? That was Sergeant Casey did that. He did a great job on that. I just
I
heard
don't know
about
who
that.
actually was able to find the party, and we also learned that if you, I know the party wasn't on Eventbrite, this one was on Swimply. I don't know whether you found it or the town, but for anybody in the neighborhood who's dealing with this, we learned that if you could find the party, you could shut it down sooner. So anybody who does their own research, Tom really wants me to thank you guys. You
No
did
problem.
amazing. Thank you so much.
Good work. I did hear there were busing people there. I was like, oh my God, you know, so it can get out of hand. It really
But I mean,
can.
like the calls, the calls started coming in at 4:30. We got, you guys got on it right away. I think it was all done within an hour or two. So thank you.
The guy
so
shut
much.
it down. Nice job. Nice job by you
Great
guys.
job, great job.
Ma'am,
Hi, my name is Miriam. I have a few things here, but there's a lot of people, so I'm going to limit it. My biggest concern is the speed on Pulaski Road
okay,
between Lockfield Road and Old Bridge Road.
sure.
It's 30 miles an hour. There are 3 bus stops there, and with school starting this week, I'm
Yes.
hoping that something can be done about this speeding.
No problem.
I rarely see somebody there issuing summonses. Again, the speed limit's 30. If you do under 40, you have people up on your car, you have people going over double lines, and it's really, there's been accidents, fortunately not recently, but I'm just afraid with schools starting. I would like to see some kind of traffic control there if possible.
Absolutely, we'll step it up. He's the sergeant's over there who handles that, so we'll go over to Pulaski, and I'll send the highway guys over there also.
Right, so-
There's a couple bus stops over there?
There's 2 marked, one that's not marked, actually.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sure if they're speeding, they're going around the bus too, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's really pretty bad. Just trying to pull out onto Pulaski is horrible. Okay, so that was that. What is done, with the pot smoking now, and you can smell it when you're driving in the car. And so if an officer pulls over somebody and can kind of smell pot or reminiscent or they look, how is that enforced as far as driving while under the influence?
So, yeah, that's what it is. If we can prove that they had just smoked it, the driver itself, because sometimes it might be the passenger smoking, who knows? But if the officer takes the person out and based on his observations, we do have some officers that are trained in drug recognition, which that comes under, without a doubt. If they're able to get enough evidence, gather enough evidence to prove that that gentleman is under the influence, he'll be arrested and charged. But yes, I drive myself and I could smell it. Sometimes it's the car in front, sometimes it's 3 cars if you're not sure. If they're able to get to the one that it is and do that and actually do, some preliminary tests on it and, again, gather the right evidence, they can make an arrest for that. And people know that's illegal. You can't do that. So occasionally we get them. Yeah, we do.
But unlike alcohol, right, there's no physical test they can do as far as hardcore
We don't have a physical test. I know they were talking about getting one where they use saliva, but I know the drug recognition guys, I think they take urine. If after the arrest happens, they'll bring them in, and if they want to submit, they'll get urine. But sometimes they won't give us, the sample. So they'll just have to base it on what they see, smell. There's certain tests. So, some of the guys, we can call an officer down who is trained in drug recognition if there's an officer who makes a stop who's not sure, and then he can assist that officer, and we can make an arrest based on that.
So that's enough to give them a DUI?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Matt, go ahead.
I read a couple of days ago that, I don't know if it was on our side of the Comac line or Smithtown side, catalytic converter thefts. How's that going these days?
I wouldn't say we have a lot, but we have some. They pop up. Every morning I get a crime report of what happened the night before, and every few days we'll get one here. But they're spread them out, all different hamlets all around. We've had some in the precinct. I think over the last month maybe we had 3 or 4. But yeah, Huntington Station, we've gotten hit, East Northport, Comac. Yeah, and what you're saying, there was Comac, there was both sides, they do. So they go into these neighborhoods at night when, no one's around. Occasionally, a resident will see them and call it in, but, they take off and as far as chasing them, it's not really an option for us to do. So it's kind of really difficult to get them. But yeah, we have them. I wouldn't say it's prevalent. They seem to be coming back. So they seem to target the Hondas and the Priuses. So if you have that car and you could put it in your garage, that would be a wise thing to do. Yeah, certain models, I guess, are easier to get it, or maybe the metal is better in those. I'm not really sure how they pick the targets, but Hondas seem to be, and Priuses are very prevalent. So that's the best I can tell you. Park your car as close as you can. Maybe you have motion cameras and lights that might scare them away. But sometimes these guys, they got 2, 3 guys. The guy's under there with the grinder, he cut it. They don't care.
Under 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We haven't, you know, it hasn't been crazy here in the precinct with that, but every few days we get a couple, you know.
The funny thing is, Gershow won't take them. I don't know where they're selling these.
Yeah, I know. I knew there was a place, I think I read a big article about it. One of the chiefs sent me this article, and they busted this ring. And it was a tremendous ring, and it started in Tennessee, and it wound up like in New Jersey, and it was millions and millions of dollars, these people. So that's why it was a lucrative crime to commit. But yeah, every once in a while. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I know you had some people at
Yes.
the last meeting, and I know you had some police at Ames, but St. Anthony's is starting now.
Yep.
And that's.
I plan on going down there. I didn't know if you guys would be here or at the next one,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go speak to the fathers or brothers that run the St. Anthony's, and just let them know, hey, we got a lot of complaints from the neighborhood. We're going to be sitting in those neighborhoods. My traffic guys know. I sent out an email to them, please, because of the last meeting, there was a lot of concern. And I went there myself personally to look at some of the stop signs. It's windy roads. I get it. It's going to be a cut through. I'm going to get the message out. I don't know if they're going to send a letter out, but I also plan on going to visit the bus companies too, to let them know that, you know, if they're going to cut through, I mean, I can't stop them from cutting through, but I can tell them, listen, you got to do the speed limit and you got to stop.
Exactly.
So, and full stop. I know, you know, they got to shift, well, I don't know, do they still shift buses, but whatever. Anyway, I'll get it out there the best I can, and we'll do enforcement, and I can promise you that that's what I can do. You know, I don't know if it's gonna.
I've spoken to Brother David, but.
Yeah, well, I'll go see him.
Changes. The bus companies would be wonderful.
Yeah, they're very nice. I've spoken to those gentlemen, and I'll go tell them again, listen, we've had, you know, a lot of complaints.
Getting like a no turn sign?
Yeah, that would be up to the town. It'd have to go through the town for any kind of traffic control stuff. We don't do that, but the town, maybe if you petition enough, they'll get a thing where there's a no turn sign.
Yeah. Is there somebody from traffic here? Because last meeting I heard that there was a.
Joe? No, nobody from traffic.
That would be Scott Fiddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, I've tried him too.
What's he says no? He says no can do?
Well, I mean, he doesn't respond basically, but
Oh.
then he'll put up a sign every once in a while.
Okay.
And then it's like 2 weeks and then they take the sign down, you know, so nothing really gets
Oh.
done.
I didn't
Takes
think they
a while to
could,
get a permanent sign put up because it has to go to public hearing.
Right,
several
right.
months. And it has to be agreeable to everybody in the neighborhood too.
So does everybody in the whole street have to?
Usually they pull everybody because it has to be agreeable to everybody because it affects everybody's life.
Okay.
One person.
So why have I started? Do I
You
ask
have to
staff
pull Scott, yes.
to do that part of it?
They do a traffic study, that's correct.
Okay.
I haven't forgotten about you.
Thank you.
Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I'm back again from last month, having mentioned. I appreciate that I did see 2 or 3 police vehicles in the area. The last one that I saw actually was parked across the street from my home.
Okay.
And then it moved after about 10 minutes and went down to the street straight across the way. My concern, or what I don't understand is, the turn is so severe that it's marked 10 miles per hour, which is hard to find in this town anywhere. And that in itself says a lot, that it's that low, which of course
Sure.
no one does. It would be nice if people would do 20, but it's usually above that too. There's a lot of screeching tires, they hit the curb and everything. But what I don't understand is, with all due respect, the police officer that was in these vehicles, or a combination of two in the vehicles, did not stop any cars.
Okay, well, maybe you didn't see them, they might have, because I sent them down there, and they did stop some cars, I don't know, you know, maybe the ones you saw, they didn't stop, but I know they were down there at my direction, so.
I mean, are we as the, you know, as the public, are we allowed to be aware of those traffic stops? Like made aware of?
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you, we'll send them back down, and I'll give you a number of stops we made there, and whether or not we issued, you know, some, is not a problem.
Yeah, it's so bad that even 2 nights ago, I have to turn around in a big opening to even be able to get into my driveway safely, and I had just righted myself, and I was getting ready to make the left onto. The kid came around so fast, he almost hit the front of my car, which, when that happens on that turn, you don't have a chance to back up or go anywhere. You're like in frozen mode because they're right on you.
Sure.
And I need some help, and I am meeting with someone from the board in the next couple weeks, Sal Farrell, and
Okay.
who's also going to put some pressure on Scott because the traffic department is not big enough for what the problems are in this township. It's just too big.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can tell you that I did send guys down there, and I know they did stop cars, so I don't have the numbers with me right now, but next month when I see you, we'll go over the numbers, okay?
Okay, and another quick one. Is there something other than a police officer that can be utilized on these heavily traffic-driven streets to take a reading and issue a ticket like we have red light cameras? Is there some type of...
We don't have speed cameras in Suffolk County, as far as I know, just the red light ones, so, I mean, I only deal with my officers, and I can only deploy them when I get complaints. This is how I do it. When you complain about an area, I send them down there.
Right.
So, and they hit these spots, but I mean, it's a big precinct, you gotta understand.
Yes.
And so...
That's why I'm asking about something mechanical rather than physical, because I realize there's not enough police.
Yeah.
Even in Huntington Village on the weekend evening, there's no, you know, heavy police presence. Maybe they're parked at the Bank of America, but it's not really helping what's going on at Main Street, whether it's, you know, racing down the middle or somebody's wallet gets taken off a dining table that's sitting outside of a restaurant. There's a lot of stuff happening, and there just doesn't seem to be enough physical police bodies. So maybe technology could help in that.
Yep.
You know, and do part of your job like red light cameras do.
Sure, sure. I'm not aware of any plans to put speed cameras in, but who knows, maybe the Suffolk legislature would consider doing something like that. I don't know. I think they're getting rid of the red light cameras, though. I think I heard that the state said no more. I don't know why, what the reasoning. But, you know, my guys can go out there and do what we can do. That's the best. I can only control, you know, the police officers that I have.
Right.
So I'm trying.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Inspector, I would just like to say on behalf of myself and some other family members around the area, I've been there 61 years, this August, May 61, and I would just like to say that I know I've called you many times. I had to call 911. This is a problem with CVS in Huntington Station and also Community Market. Okay, I just want to say that you are putting a dent into it, and I do thank you.
You're welcome.
But please, you have to just keep up the hard work.
No problem.
This morning was an off day. I had 30 at CVS, 30 plus, and I had 15 or 18 in community. And
Wow.
I didn't bother calling because I was coming here.
Okay.
But I just want to say, for the most part, also, Captain, you've been mixed in with this, so I just want to say I do thank you very much for doing what you're doing.
No problem.
And that's, I hope that we keep on going on a positive trend to try to end this nonsense that's going on up there.
Thank you for saying that. I give the credit to the officers in the back because they're the ones that are doing those checks for me. I've asked them to increase the amount of checks, and it's like the first thing I look at every morning just to see how many times we're there, and I could say it's always double digits. It's a lot. So we're definitely more, we're there more than we were.
I know I've been seeing more police presence.
Sure.
This morning was funny. We had a sector car come past, okay? Then all of a sudden we saw a park ranger. I've never seen that before. And all of a sudden you're seeing some of these guys get up and they start scattering. They're not used to the park rangers.
Okay.
Suffolk County, they kind of you know, they say, oh, they're here, okay, you're gone, and they come right back. But the park ranger, they kind of scatter a little bit. Maybe that'll be one idea to maybe try to get some of them to move in to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It may help.
I'll take all the help I can get, I can tell you. I know there's an issue there, so we're doing the best we can to try and address it for you, and I know we've increased our presence there, so I thank you for saying that.
Inspector, I'd just like to add
Oh,
to that.
yeah.
The CVS headquarters in Woonsocket, Rhode Island have been made well aware of the issues at 111 Depot Road. They've
Okay.
had numerous written and email complaints, so it's not like they don't know.
Right. I actually spoke with Legislator Sanin about this. We've had a meeting here at the precinct. She's had come up with some really nice ideas about maybe a way to try and get them out of there, or at least relocate them somewhere else where, you know, they might have some substance, a place to, you know, use the facilities and stuff. So she's got some good ideas she's trying to put into action. This was the month we were gonna see if we're gonna be able to put that plan into action. So we're gonna see. Hopefully it'll get better. Jim?
Yeah, you know what, speaking of CVS, I've been up there many times, I'm through that area all the time. I've seen the police officers parked in the parking lot, and the majority of them really don't care.
Yeah,
They still
okay.
continue to do what they're doing. Now, the only thing that you could do, and I think it was the Yonkers that did, had a problem with the side street doing the same thing, and they put up no stopping signs. And what they did is whatever area it was, they gave the people that were stopping to pick up the day laborers, they were giving them the tickets and inspecting their cars. So if maybe the town,
We've tried that already, Jim, and our guys almost got run over. Because the contractor will pull up, as soon as somebody approaches, the guy's taking
no,
the
but
trying to
if
kill
you
them.
have if you have this police there,
Yeah,
no,
it was a bad situation. We tried it several times.
but you're not a cop.
We had
So,
rangers in there.
I can tell,
They're not
I'm just telling you what happened with that.
But you know what I'm saying, Kevin? If you
Yeah.
move something like that, maybe that'll work.
I could,
I know the guy, the manager, I know him well. And, you know, he was telling me that they lost over $1 million in shoplifting last year.
they've been cooperative because we reapproached them to do the trespass affidavits, and they're willing to do that. And I know we locked up at least 2 or 3 individuals for trespass in the parking lot. But we are kind of limited on what we could do if they're not in the parking lot. So that's the problem. If they're on the sidewalk, there's no loitering laws. So we're kind of stuck there. They're going to be visible.
Well, the bottom line, it's a federal problem.
Yeah, well,
Problem, it's not a town problem. It's actually a federal, it's an immigration problem.
yeah, I would probably say you're right. But I'll do what I'll do.
I looked into it, and that's what I was told.
We'll do everything we can on our end,
Oh, I
but
know you're doing it, thank you.
we'll, you know, again, it's difficult because the sidewalk, they can be there, and, but they're not supposed to be in the lot. They know that, so when we come, they leave. Sometimes we arrest them for it, but they're out very shortly after, so I don't know if that's the solution.
But there's no loitering
I know.
laws anymore.
There isn't, not for that, no.
See, that's what I mean. I mean, you gotta go to the state and tell them, you know, let's have, and there's no public drunk intoxication either.
But Legislator Sanin had some good ideas. I want to see where we go with that. There's something, you know, in the future that we're trying to do something with, so, yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead, no, you can go.
I
Go.
live down in,
Sure.
I have squatters in my neighborhood, and they're having big parties. They took over a house. It's a
Okay.
house that's worth over $1 million.
Okay.
And they rented it out. It's sublet. And they're having these parties. We called the cops about 2 weeks ago. They came down, but they said the only thing they could do was a noise ordinance. And that was cut it off by law.
Were they where they were squatting there? Are you sure they're squatters?
When I called the township, that's what I was told, that they were squatters.
Yeah, we have to determine whether or not they're actually squatters, but we could do something about that. Can you give your information to a listener in the back? Can you get the address so we can take a look at it? We'll look at it, okay? And we'll see what we can do.
Because they destroyed the street and everything, like beer bottle, chicken bones, everything on.
First, okay, I don't know the address, but it's the first time here, and we've had squatting issues in the past, and we've been able to take care of them, so we will definitely look into this for you, okay?
I can answer that question. What's
Yeah.
the street they live on? I think the problem with that house that you're talking about is that it was rented out to an individual. And what he did is invite his friends, and they're not squatters, they're invited to live in that house. Right now, it's under an eviction. The sheriff's department going down there to get that person out, but he has the legal privilege to be there at this point. And we just can't go in and kick him out. It's got to go through an eviction process. I'm pretty sure it's the same street and how he requires.
Even the garage is rented out now.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look at it. We'll see what we can do.
Well, we're looking into that already. We contacted the sheriff's about it already.
Okay.
So they're on, if it's the same house, which I think it is.
Yeah.
He's invited his friends and a bunch of people hanging out.
They have parties there that it's so loud because I'm like 6 houses down and you can't sleep at night.
And they charge people to come and throw this party. Yeah.
You have a question, sir? Go ahead.
Morning, Inspector. I don't want to be an alarmist or anything like that, but I've heard through the grapevine, through my neighborhood, about a crime that's supposedly happened. I don't know if it was this month or in July, about a 60-something-year-old male who was jogging at 5 a.m. I believe it was on. Supposedly, the car was driving through the neighborhood with multiple male occupants, lights off. He told them to turn their lights on. They exited the vehicle and jumped him.
Yeah. You familiar with that?
Again, I'm familiar with that one also. It happened about 5 o'clock in the morning. The individual, 70 years old, walking down the street, and the car stopped with the lights off. They came up. Basically, it was written up as an assault because he was beat up by these 2 or 3 individuals.
Oh my God.
It was went back, and investigation is probably going to be kicked up as an attempt robbery on that one. We got the ring cameras from the neighborhood, and they've been pretty good. Is that you?
Was that in August or in July?
No, it was about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay.
I know it was given to crime control originally as an assault, and crime control lieutenant is viewing the videos right now. It's probably going to be kicked up to the squad for an attempt robbery on that.
Are there any photos?
Yes.
Okay. You know, I really think that your presence and the things that you've done really has made a difference, but
Thanks.
it kind of, leaks into other areas once something gets, lately, I think this is a town issue, though. I was wondering if there's any kind of adjustment that could be made for the size of the vehicles going down that road. It seems like there are huge trucks using it as a cut-through.
Overweight,
It's not designed for that.
Are there signs posted for the commercial vehicles there? There's no
I
sign?
don't believe there are, no, and that,
Right.
it seems like that has just escalated, so that's number
Okay.
one. The second thing is, I don't know what's going on, but it's late night, and the loudness of these cars, and they race down the road, and I don't know whether it's muffler or just the other night, it sounded like somebody was shot, like the noise is just, it wakes, we're set way back from the road, and it wakes everybody
Sure.
up on the street, and this is constant, and they're going at some incredible speed, but it's like, maybe 1, 2 o'clock. The other night, I happened to be outside during these hours, and it was repetitive, that these cars are cutting through like that. I think they're racing, I don't know, and they're,
Sure.
I don't think it's local, I don't know, and I don't even know what kind of vehicles they are.
They modify the mufflers, illegally modify them, and they,
Why?
they're so loud.
that's
Well, because it's look at me stuff.
Yeah.
It's look at me, look at my car, that kind of thing, so.
It's absolutely crazy, but and it seems like it almost seems like there's a group that have been displaced because this is very new to our road area, so it's almost like they found this place where they, this was where there was, I was outside between like 1 and 3, and it was several had gone through, and it wakes everybody up on the road. I had dinner with some of the residents last night, and everybody does the same thing, and it's really out of control, and it's not just on weekends, it's, all the time. I think president, I know it's hard
Okay, we got
to
it,
spread it
yeah.
through, and what are they gonna do, sit there at 1 o'clock in the morning and see if anybody goes through? And they're going at such a speed, you can't follow them anyway, you know what I'm saying? There's no chasing involved with this.
Well, if we hear the mufflers, we could stop them for that, and, we could issue violation for that, so we could do something. She's got it down, so. I invite.
And thank you.
One more? Yes.
Couple things. The
Okay,
one-way street going east.
okay.
They put up a new sign to remind people it's a one-way street, but we are repeatedly getting trucks, cars, driving the opposite way.
Okay.
It's becoming a real problem now. It's not like one car out of the blue. It's repeatedly. Yet last night, it's 8 o'clock, I was walking my dog, and a car was coming the right way. Car was coming down Lennox, and they decided they wanted to go the wrong way. I had to tell them no, and stand there, or otherwise they were going to go up that way. So it's a big problem.
When's it what times mostly? Is there?
It's during the day mostly.
Mostly during the day? Mike?
It's during the day mostly.
The sergeant, he'll take the note.
Yeah, when people work.
We'll go down there.
But it's all the time.
They can't go under the underpass because they don't fit.
Oh, that's why. Okay, so that's an issue. All right, the sergeant will go down there. We'll take a look at it.
Who do we talk? There are 4-hour parking signs all within the station, 3rd, 2nd, 4th, etc. Except all day people are parking there. On 3rd, because it's such a narrow street, again between York Avenue and Lennox, you can't get up the street because all the cars are.
That's by the train station, is that why?
Yeah, by the train station.
Yeah, okay.
The other day, somebody had an emergency. People could not move. They couldn't get up to the person who had the EMS issue because the cars are parked there.
Okay.
4 hours. Why the parking sign if no one's going to do anything about it?
We could go down there, but, you know, Joe, you guys can do that too, right? So maybe the town could go down there too.
And then my last thing, I guess, is, well, no, 2 more things. What do we do about homes that appear to be overpopulated with people who are not related to each other?
I'm going to say that it probably sounds like you'd have to report it to the town. I mean, I don't know what the occupancies are on a regular single-family residence, but you're saying
It's a single-family home that now has 6 cars, and I've seen different beds going in.
Sure. Okay. You know, I don't know what the apartment laws are and stuff like that. If they, you know, I'm sure they have to be a legal apartment, but I really don't know what the codes are for that.
Who do I talk to?
Right there. You talking to me?
Okay, I'll talk to him. And then my last thing, I just wanted to underscore the statements about CVS. I didn't know you were doing anything really.
Yeah, okay.
Because whenever I go to CVS, I see men drunk.
Yeah.
I see people laid out. I see a poker game going over in this corner. And I mean, I've been thinking about changing my account from over there because I'm scared to go over there by myself. So, I mean.
Oh, man, no, my girls, my daughters and my wife don't go there. They go to 110. If they gotta go, I don't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, but it's the closest
I've
to
seen
where
them
I
in my
am.
car. I saw them one day I went in and they were going in my car.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, if there's something that we can do.
Yeah, no, again, as far as trespass, we could do something in the parking lot. On the sidewalk, it's very difficult for us to, there's no loitering law that we can enforce. We could kind of chase them out, which is what we try to do, to get them to go somewhere else. But it's like, that's back and forth every day. It's frustrating for me. We've been increasing our patrols there to try and discourage those guys from hanging out. Again, we could ticket them for the alcohol, or we could arrest them for trespass, as long as the CVS wants to sign. So it's really something that, you know, we have to deal with. I know one of the legislators is trying to come up with a good idea to do something, you know.
That's Rebecca saying it?
Yeah, maybe to try and relocate these people during the day.
We don't move them into the neighborhoods because we don't want.
She's come, listen, she's got some ideas, and I'm not opposed to anything that maybe could fix that problem. So, because you know, I know it's an issue.
Overall, we are very appreciative of the response from the police department. So thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Just one last quickie. I have a young man and he mentioned to me that, because he knows I like to go up to the Huntington Station Library because it's easier for me to park there than to get into the village. And he said to me, please don't go to the 7-Eleven that's near the library because there's a lot of kids that are very young, like 12 to 14, in training for games.
Sure, okay, yep. No, we know that they're up there, and our guys have been up there. You know, we're doing everything we can with them. What is this? That's really nice. Okay, so thank you all for coming. I invite you all to stay for cake, please. June was nice enough to get this cake. June, you want to say a couple words?
I do.
Yes, go ahead.
Captain?
Come on, Captain.
Can you join me, please?
Get over here.
Let's go, Captain.
That's so unbelievable.
Come on, Captain.
This is for you.
How nice is that?
This is from the neighbors. We know that you didn't want anything to recognize your fantastic 45 years of service to our community. We love you, and we couldn't let it go without the community saying thank you.
You've been there a long time, and you've been there when we do right, and you've been there when we've made mistakes, and you've forgiven us, and we've just got stronger and better. This is, where did you get this? I never saw this.
That's beautiful.
Snuck it behind you.
That's
We're
my
talking. So Catalinas Bake Shop made this for you.
really
I
nice.
wouldn't even dare to tip it up. Maybe we could bring the camera closer so you can see it. It says, thank you for 45 years of service, Captain Kevin McKeon. Happy and blessed retirement. And it's from Huntington Matters. And,
All right, cheers.
Someone being forced to retire.
That's really beautiful.
Forced due to age, not for discipline. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
And then we'll cut it. And,
That cake is
beautiful.
That is.
Oh my gosh.
You could peel that off if you want to save it. Any of the fondant you could peel off and it'll air dry and you could save it forever. It would be kind of gross, but yay! You were riding by in a car at a parade.
What parade was it? Do you remember?
That's the last, yes, St. Patrick's, exactly, yes, St. Patrick's.
So you want your picture?
Is that a great picture?
Yes, baby.
You're adorable.
Patches on top of it. No, I know. Do you want your picture too?
I'll email you the pictures.
I'm assuming you don't want this. I think you don't. Do you like this?
Yes, Catalinas Bake Shop around the corner. It's just on
I haven't had the cake from there yet.
Fantastic.